Welcome to episode 4 of the TBRPG series. Today we are going to be making the terrain with a custom mesh. So first thing first, I have this image right here to the right. With this, that's my terrain atlas. Okay. We will have several atlases, several images right here. I have some grass, some water, some cobblestone, and some dirt. Okay, I believe any artist would be better graphics than me. So, but the thing that I wanted to show here is how to make a terrain mesh in Unity. So the first step is to take the terrain and import it to Unity. Here we have to configure the texture. We are going to go to Advanced. Again, no bitmaps. Point filter. The maximum size of my image is 32 by 32, so check that, and I leave the format as is. Well, the format I'm going to be using RGB 24-bit. Okay, I don't need an alpha channel for my basic terrain. So next thing here, I'm going to be creating an empty object called terrain. This terrain is going to have a mesh filter and a mesh renderer. Okay. Under the materials section, I'm going to be using a new material. Create material, terrain material. I'm going to be setting this to an unlit texture material using my terrain material. Okay. Here, just for debugging, I'm going to be using a plane and setting my terrain material here. Okay, so next thing we want to do is to put a terrain in the position 0, 0, 0. Okay, like that. So next thing, we are going to create the terrain script. Okay, going to be calling terrain atlas. Okay, let's go to Visual Studio. Perfect. So here in Visual Studio, I'm going to be creating a few variables I will need. Okay, the first thing is the amount of tiles that I want to be drawing. Okay, then I'm going to be using the tile size here, which for each one of my tiles is going to be 64 pixels, and I need to use sorry, this doesn't belong here. Here in my source code I have this pixel size. Okay, so 64 times pixel size. So it's the actual size of in Unity. So next thing I need to be doing, talking about the atlas, I need to specify the columns and the rows. Okay, and then for the tiles I'm going to be using an array. Okay, so how is this going to work? Okay, let's take my my drawing tool here. So we have the image I've shown you of the terrain, which is something like this. Okay, each part of the terrain is going to be numbered, something like that. Okay, and then we might have several tiles. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to have something like that. Okay, I'm going to make them squarer. Okay, in each tile, this is the atlas, and these are the actual tiles. Okay, in any one of these tiles, we can render any one of the images from the atlas. Okay, so in the ones we have zeros, let's use colors. Okay, if 0 is a red tile, we have something like that, and again it's the one is green, 2. Okay, I don't know how to draw. Okay, something like that. So to do that, I'm going to be creating a mesh for each one of these tiles. Okay, each mesh will be like a square divided in 2 triangles. Okay, because we are working on 3D. This will be the 3D mesh. Okay, each mesh has vertices, 4 vertices, 2 triangles, and UVs. Okay, UVs are the texture coordinates we are using to take the information from the atlas. So let's get to work. Knowing this, what I'm going to be doing is on awake, I don't need the update method, I'm going to be generating my mesh. Okay, so what I'm going to be using are lists using system.collections.generic. Okay, so I can use lists. These are array lists. They are a bit slow for adding and removing values, but they are quite fast to transform to array. So these are our vertices. Then we need to have our triangles, and our UVs. Okay, So since we are having several triangles, we are going to be using something like this. Two loops to make the actual triangles. Okay, I need to specify here. Okay, I will have a push triangle function where I need the vertices to change them, triangles, the UVs. Then I need the X and Y coordinate, size, the UVX, the UV white, and the UV size. Okay, let me scroll down here a bit. So you can see all the information here. Okay. So I need to make some calculations here. What I need first is the size. Which will be the tile size that we have here on top. Okay, then I need the UV size. The UV size would be 1.0 divided. So I need the UV width and UV height because we might not have the same columns as rows. So UV width divided by the atlas columns and the UV height divided by the rows. Okay, let's write here the information. The X coordinate would be X times size, Y coordinate Y times size. Okay, then the actual size, then the UVX coordinate, which would be tile tiles from Y times width plus X times I'm getting confused. This is the okay. These tiles we get a number from, in this case, 0 to 3, and we want to get our X coordinate. So we use that operator and okay, like that. That's our X coordinate times the UV width which I misspelled. Okay, so for the UVY we do the same thing, but dividing this and multiplying by UV height. Okay, we are just calculating like these points, these these 4 points, and then we add the width and height to take the whole texture. And then I need the UV width and the UV height. UV width, UV height. Okay? Like that. Okay, so to make a triangle consists of 4 vertices. So we start by adding our vertices and the X and Y, which is the top left one. Bueno, sorry, since Unity, since the Y goes from bottom to top, as we add the coordinates, this will be the 0, 0. So we are making the bottom left, this is the bottom left corner, so bottom left vertex. Then we will be adding the bottom right vertex, this code thinks that every tile would be squared. Okay, if you didn't have square tiles, you will need to do some adjustments to this code, but it's kind of simple. So you need to have a different size for the X and Y coordinates of the 3D mesh. So the top right vertex, then we need to add the triangle, so the triangles are referenced by ID. Each vertex has its own ID. The for example, this is the 0, 1, 2 and 3 in examples. Let me use black or red. This is 1, bottom left, bottom right, top left, top right. Okay, but since we are programming, we should name them 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, if we had more triangles sorry, the next one we will start at 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. So to get the actual number, I count the triangles that the vertices, sorry, that we have, and that's the number that we want to use, because if we have 4 vertices, the next ID would be 4. So here I'm going to be adding okay, here I'm adding the first triangle. Because triangles are referenced by IG, I have to add 3 numbers to add a triangle. So here I'm adding the triangle 0. Suppose that the start is 0. We are drawing the first triangle. 0, 2, 1. Okay, so we are doing this triangle right here. Okay, then we add the other triangle, which would be the 1, 2, 3. Okay, if we are adding them on in clockwise like this, 0, 2, 1, we will get a triangle that is facing one way, and if we add it the other way, we will have a triangle facing against us with their back face. So I think I made one of each, so we can see that thing there. Then we need to add the UVs for each triangle. So for the bottom left, we are going to add a new vector 2 UVX UVY. For the next one, a new vector 2 UVX plus UV width UVY. Okay, just the same as where we added the vertices. We want this to have the same pattern. So if I made a normal one plus width, then plus height, then plus both, I want the same thing going on here. Okay, so we have every information now in our these free lists. So what we need to do now, create a mesh. Okay, we are going to clear that mesh because shit happens. Then we are going to set the vertices to our vertices. The same thing for our triangles. Okay, again for the UV, and then we are going to get our component mesh filter, and set the mesh filter. Okay, and that's what we needed to do. So let's check if this worked. So click on play. Okay, we got nothing because we didn't specify any width or height. So the tile size, it's already set. We are not going to be changing that. We are going to make a 3 by 3 as in the example. 3 by 3. Okay, I'm going to be using the same as the example here. So we have 2 columns and 2 rows in our atlas, and our tiles are 9 tiles, which are 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, 1. Okay, the same as here. So let's see if that worked. Okay, we had an error. Okay. Okay, sorry. Since we added these vertices here, we want the start to be before we add the vertices. Oops. Okay, we need it to reference that start before adding the vertices, because if we do it later we will start with the vertex 4, but we are trying to do the 0 to 3, so that wouldn't work. Okay, just like that. Now click on play and it goes pretty well. So if I can make this, okay, because these sprites have a different shader, they are going to be a bit buggy right now, okay, but we will see what we can do later. So we can just change the elements right here, something like that. Okay. I think it's outside the camera. Okay. Okay, remember that you have a camera and whatever is outside it's rendered. Okay, but we have the rain right here. I hope this wasn't very complicated, but I believe we did a pretty good job with these alas right here. The next time we will be checking out how to actually edit the atlas without having to change the elements manually in the tiles array. So I'll make something up to do that. So hope you enjoyed and you learned a lot because making meshes with the CPU in scripts might be a bit complicated. Remember that as you can see, these are just some triangles made to look like squares. Okay, and also don't forget to subscribe if you liked the content. There are more tutorials coming. Share this video or any one of mine if you want to help me doing more tutorials. And that's all. Have a nice day.